Must be my body spray. Happy Monday, everyone. All right, it was 1 year ago today that President Biden dropped out of the 2024 campaign. Yep. Time flies when you're dead. Meanwhile, his son Hunter unleashed on George Clooney and the Democrats for being disloyal to his father, adding, "I know about loyalty. When my brother died, I stepped up and banged his wife." Over the weekend, WNBA All-Stars wore shirts that said, "Pay us what you owe us." And no, it wasn't aimed at the league. It was directed at their shift supervisor at Pep Boys. Oh. Caitlin Clark had to miss the All-Star game due to an injury. Sports fans, though, say there's still plenty of good reasons to watch the WNBA. For instance, if someone has a gun to your head. I know that joke is controversial because a lot of people would choose the gun. Karen Bass claimed that ICE kidnapped an L.A. mother on her way to work, but prosecutors say it was a hoax. Karen swears by the story, saying she heard about it from her boyfriend in Chicago. And she was told to keep looking for the real culprit by her other ex-boyfriend. Katy Perry was left dangling midair on a giant butterfly after a prop malfunctioned during her concert. Attendees were very concerned that the concert would continue. And finally, after finding out Stephen Colbert was canceled, Stacey Abrams posted photos from her many appearances on the show. She alluded that those were happier times when she could still fit in a chair. Oh. Hey, I'm not making her eat Twinkies. But I would. So apparently firing Stephen Colbert, who was paid $20 million a year while his show lost $50 million, it wasn't due to economics. It was fascism. That, according to all the Democrats currently white knighting for him. Because you recall from history class, the first thing Adolf Hitler did was cancel Late Night with Shecky von Bismarck. But they never get that the free market means exactly that. Free to fire someone who's stinking up a market. Like they took a dump in the produce section. That show, his show, was like the dope who maxes out his credit card because he thinks the stripper really likes him. Ooh, you got two jokes for the price of one. But that's not fascism, that's math. But for the left, math is what happens to other people. Which is why cretins like Chris Murphy are panicking like Hunter Biden when his dealer's phone goes right to voicemail. But are we on the precipice of entering a censorship state?
We are on the precipice of entering a censorship state in which Donald Trump is using the powers of the federal government in order to erase criticism from the airwaves. Stephen Colbert didn't get thrown off the air because he wasn't doing well.
Why is he doing that on the toilet? Dude, you're a politician and you're taking a dump while doing this? He's got to prove that he didn't. He's taking a dump. All right, so it's true. Colbert didn't cancel because he wasn't doing well. It was because he was doing horrendously. But even Rosie got the news between feeding times.
What's going on with Stephen Colbert, right? One of the most brilliant minds we've ever had in comedy. CBS decided to give in to the blackmail that Donald Trump forced them to.
Ugh. There's not enough Guinness in Dublin to turn her into a 3.
There's a lot of Guinness in Dublin. I've been there.
And others are ready to eulogize free speech.
If you don't think we are under a regime with an authoritarian strategy, then you are bugging. This is not just a media story. It's a free speech funeral in slow motion.
This has not been a great week for free speech and speaking truth to power.
A funeral? Please. A funeral would get more laughs. Colbert should have started his monologues with my condolences. But the left's political class kept piling on. Liz Warren, Adam Schiff, Tim Walz, Hakeem Jeffries. Jesus, I could feel my IQ plummeting just by listing those names. Thank God AOC wasn't in there or I would have flatlined. And now the Writers Guild of America wants an investigation into the cancellation. Somehow that killing a bad show is criminal. Hey, Writers Guild, you know what's criminal? Churning out garbage like The Big Bang Theory and How I Met Your Mother. They should have combined those two shows and called it How I Banged Your Mother. So why don't these elites freak out when working Americans lose their jobs? Non-federal workers who bring value to the economy, not dying institutions that bleed money serving their agenda. It's weird how they only take pride in things that are subsidized, crap that doesn't require actual success to survive. They think Colbert is a government program. Who cares if it costs a lot and it sucks? It made them feel good to know it was there. But don't you dare touch it, because that's fascism. Because to them, everything is fascist, except, actual fascism. Cuba, Venezuela, China, all the places where Tim Walz or Bernie Sanders consider great honeymoon spots. All those regimes crush dissent, jail opposition, and murder journalists. That's the fascism that these bags ignore. But a smug millionaire loses his desk and fake skyline, and it's the death of democracy. Hell, that desk costs more than my whole staff. And we still keep beating them in the ratings. The fact that CBS was losing millions but kept him on the air is the very definition of propaganda. When a business puts aside the bottom line for the message instead, well, you know what they say. If it walks like a duck, swims like a duck, and quacks like a duck, but eats like an elephant, it's probably Joy Behar. Let's welcome tonight's guest. Her frank discussions give liberals concussions. Host of the Michelle Tavoya podcast, Michelle Tavoya. He looks like that guy who brings his own popcorn to the movies, comedian Dave Landau. She's our favorite Madison after Oscar and Ashley. Fox business correspondent Madison Allworth. And he makes his fans' pacemakers skip a beat. New York Times bestselling author, comedian, and former NWA world champion, Darius. Michelle, what do you make of this outcry? Because I don't think, I look at Colbert, I think they look at it like it's like a public library. When they hear that it's closed, they go, oh my God, what are they doing? But they haven't gone to that library in decades.
A lot of people haven't gone to that library, apparently. I mean, that library is just losing readership like crazy. The hyperbole, once again, Greg, is what gets me. And I listened to Charlemagne the God, his entire 10-minute rant on this. And as you said, he said, this is a funeral of the First Amendment or whatever. The First Amendment says that Congress can make no laws that abridge your free speech. Mm-hmm. Congress didn't make a law that said, CBS, you must fire him. This has nothing to do with Congress or the Constitution or anything else. I get that they see this timing, right? Yeah. That the FCC is needed in order for this merger to go between Skydance and Paramount. I get that, and it looks away. But I'll also say, I know we were all in television. And in all those years, one of the things that holds true is you got to make money. Mm-hmm. And it is possible that they just got really tired of Colbert's act with all of his criticism of this settlement he came to with Trump. I mean, that is possible.
Yeah, I just think that he was.
You just think it's math.
I think they kept him around so they could get access to his guests.
Oh?
Because they were willing to take all this money lost because he could get in a politician.
Well, I'll just say one more thing about Charlemagne, because he said on the one hand, this is authoritarianism, right? At the same time, he said, you notice that all these online platforms and podcasts are popping up and getting competitive. That would not happen under an authoritarian government.
Yeah, Colbert's going to get a job. The first thing he's going to do is interview Barack and Michelle. Yeah. I'm convinced to that. What do you make of this, Dave, as a comedian? Do you think this is some kind of conspiracy?
Obviously. I think... I think that the moment that he had sold out, or at least sold his soul, was the dancing with Pfizer needles.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, you can't do that and then be going down on needles on the side. But yeah, I think that the company is also to blame. They're the ones who are pushing this down. They pushed an agenda onto him. They took away the character that he was on Comedy Central. And then this is what we have, where they're like, look, we got to make sure your jokes are flatter than Rachel Maddow, who he turned into.
Yeah. No, he did. He morphed into a even more humorless Rachel Maddow. Here's the interesting question that we both kind of come around. Isn't Paramount kind of on the hook because they have shareholders? And if you have shareholders and for 10 years you allow this loss of millions, shouldn't there be an investigation into that?
I mean,
you are a business person, Madison.
I am, and I think they should investigate it, but I don't know, how much they'll find because it's pretty clear math. The show is losing between 40 to 50 million and he's making 20, and I don't know how you justify the zeros and ones to make that add up. And the problem is, and like you said with the politicians, to make it in late night, it's never been more competitive. You now have social media and you have cable and you have YouTube, which are getting politicians who have their own channels and have celebrities who can come out on their own accounts. And so you have to be good. But the most important thing is you have to be funny. And if you're not, it's just not gonna work.
Well, and you also have Gutfeld to contend with,
Yeah. Tyrus? Tyrus, if we were, he was losing 40 to 50 million. If we were losing 40 to 50 bucks, we'd be gone.
No, you'd be gone because I would have murdered you to save my job.
We have that on tape.
This is the most bull I've ever heard in my black life. When I get fired, they don't say, hey, you're fired next year.
Yeah.
What kind of that? They call me at home and say, don't come in, please. He gets a whole year to be fired.
Yes.
He gets a whole year of paychecks.
He's going to show up every night and then act like a martyr. And he's probably going to, his ratings will probably go up because of that.
No, it won't. Because his guests suck. The only people who are crying are the people who go on his show.
Yes.
Because Liz Warren can't get booked anywhere else.
Yes, yes.
No Indian casino will take her in right now. The people are like, this isn't fair. It's like Trekkies who are still crying because Captain Kirk is too old to be Captain Kirk anymore. Like, where's the time machine? Your show, this is what happens when you go all in. He went all in with his winning team, and he bet on Biden and Kamala. And now he's been unburdened by what has been.
Yes.
But that gets a year to be fired.
Yeah. Another 20
if
million.
You would have said, hey, Tyrus, you're fired this time next year, I would literally be barbecuing in my seat. I'd have friends come over. I would completely dare you, or I would be like, I'm going to redo everything, and I'm going to give them a chance to keep me.
Do you know what? I don't think you're right, because he's going to start doing things that he's going to get more extreme, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think he is.
Don't you think
Is he going to have like a swim
publicity
bathing
stunt?
suit contest with
Maybe.
Rosie O'Donnell?
I think it is. I mean,
You think it's a publicity stunt?
I think it could be to get numbers back up. I think it absolutely could be a publicity stunt. It's weird, just kicking him off late night. I don't know.
See,
it's like Kevin
I usually
Spacey
agree
hosting
with you.
Sesame Street.
I usually agree with you, but if you wanted a publicity stunt, you would have Liz Warren and Hakeem Jeffries trying to get people to watch you.
Well, she's funny accidentally when she made Pow Wow Chow the cookbook.
We must move on because we have more in store. I just made up that rhyme. Hunter Biden goes off.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.